Good evening, Jyoti Prakash sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, good evening.
Very good evening, sir.
This is Professor Patro.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you,
How are
sir.
you, sir? Thank you, sir.
Absolutely fine, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Just we'll be starting shortly. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely no issue, sir.
Manu sir, should we start or wait for a few minutes?
All speakers join.
Only Jyoti sir has joined.
And
Jyoti sir and Mr. Pradeep Bandyopadhyay, he has joined.
I'm talking with Tapan Banerjee and Prafullo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, Tapan Banerjee sir has also joined.
Only Sudhir Babu, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm talking.
Sudip Chakraborty sir has also joined, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Then we start. Then we start. Fantastic.
Then we can start.
Definitely.
Sorry, I was not able to get connected. Connected. Yes. Namaskar, sir.
Sudhir sir, Manoj Thakur.
Namaskar.
Good evening, sir. Professor R.K. Patro.
Good evening.
Jyoti Prakash and Tapan.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good evening,
evening. Good evening. Patra sir, we can start.
Yes, sir. Tapan Banerjee sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Professor Patro.
Good evening, sir.
Madam, please start.
Very good evening to one and all present here, to all the respected dignitaries present here. Welcome to the webinar on skills required to make students employable, organized by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Institute of Management Science, Kolkata, in association with the Kolkata Cost and Management Society. We shall begin this webinar with the lighting of the lamp and Bhavan's anthem.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, sir. I welcome all our respected panelists to this webinar. Wait a second. I now request our Honorable Principal, Sir, Dr. Ramakanta Patro, to kindly deliver his welcome address. Dr. Patro has completed his graduation and post-graduation from Calcutta University along with an LLB, a 2 years full-time master's in personnel management. And after that, he has completed his PhD in human resource accounting from Bhopal University. He has more than 12 years of experience in different industries and 26 years in academics, including 14 years at National Institute of Technology, Bhopal, Government of India. He received this award from Government of India as for his best work and received grants and aid for its publication. I request, sir, to kindly deliver his welcome address. Thank you, sir.
Good evening to one and all present over here. From my personal behalf and on behalf of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Institute of Management Science, I may take the privilege to welcome all the dignitaries, all the faculty members, and all the students who have participated in today's webinar on skills required to make students employable. This is the root cause in each and every institute today. We are giving them the degree, we are giving them the domain knowledge, we are delivering them the subject knowledge, but whether we are able to make them corporate ready, because corporate wants some skills, some etiquettes, some attitudes, some attributes, which are very much important to become a corporate ready material. And the habit has become among all of us to get everything shortcut. This has become a habit. So unless we change our habit, approach, attitude to get the requisite skill, requisite knowledge, requisite attributes to join a corporate world, corporate profession, till such time, every time you may face interviews after interviews, but success will not be there, because the attributes which is required, the corporate does not find within you. That is why, in addition to simultaneously with your class, with your syllabus, you have to develop, you have to update with the leadership skill, with the communication skill, with the attitude change, with the grooming. These are the basic requirements for each and every student. That is why what I think, what I feel that the basic skills required by the corporate are high levels of written and oral communication skill, problem solving and decision making ability, ability to work effectively with others as a team member, and ability to work in a changing environment. And next, very important is attitude to learn new things. So these are, as per my view, few skill sets required for each and every student to develop. Until unless you develop these skill sets, you don't change your approach and change the habit of shortcut. You might have seen, if you create a shortcut file, it does not open. Okay, you are putting your efforts to open the file, but it does not open at all. So that is why you have to put your all efforts to learn the new things. Go to the depth of the subject or the domain knowledge and grasp all the contents so that your conceptual clarity is there, as well as you have to go for the application oriented knowledge. And this application knowledge out of the box, you have to accumulate this, you have to gather this. Within the box, you may not get these skills. So you have to go out of the box. Okay, only then you can develop yourself. So today we have with us very highly qualified and learned panel members who will share with you their lifetime experience and the corporate exposure which is required for a student. It may be any discipline, art, science, commerce, management, any professional course you are studying. These skills are common for all. Until unless you adopt with these skills, you develop with these skills, and first and foremost, you have to develop a positive attitude. If you don't have a positive attitude, always you will be suspicious, always you will be confused. That is why be positive, be plus. Okay, only then you can achieve anything, achieve success in your life. And after all, you have to be a good human being. That is the first and foremost requirement for each and everybody. Because Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayam dadati patratad. Okay, patrata dadastani means, you know, you have to be vinay, you have to be sanjami. So you have to expose, you have to express through your behavior, through your attitude. But when the competition comes, don't compromise to compete. Compete and perform and succeed. These are the basic requirements for a student. As I told you, it can be any student in any discipline. It can be art, science, commerce, management, any scheme. But these are the common skills required for each and every student. So that is why I will not take more time. We are eagerly waiting to listen from our learned panel members. I am sure that you will be able to know lot of tips, lot of things which is required to develop yourself. And my dear friends, as I told you, there is no shortcut route in life. Okay, don't adopt any shortcut route. Always go for a very depth knowledge. Only then, because today corporates needs are changing, practices are changing day by day. So you have to adopt yourself, you have to update yourself. And today corporate prefer all-rounder because you must develop the core competency. In spite of only competent, they don't want only competent, they want a core competence. So for becoming a core competent, you must develop the requisite set of skills which is required to make you the corporate ready. So I will not take more time. Lastly, let me speak few words about Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is a trust. Started in journey in 1938 in the hands of Mahatma Gandhi. And the headquarters of this Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is in Mumbai. And pan-India, we have 112 units. In most of the campuses, school and colleges are existing. And it is a non-profit making organization and spread all over the pan India as well as abroad. Also, we have 12 centers. And this Bharati Vidya Bhavan Institute of Management Science was established in the year 2000, and we are running 2 courses. One is 2 years full-time MBA program approved by AICTE and affiliated to MAKAUT, and 3 years full-time BBA program that is by MAKAUT only. And the basic strength of this institute is very highly qualified learners, faculty members. And second strength is infrastructure. Very good infrastructure we have. And third, very important indicator is that we have a strong industry institute linkage cell. We have the corporate mentor, we have the alumni mentor, and we prepare the students, make the students corporate ready, and make them employable. Because we believe that employment is not a problem today. Employability is the problem. So that is why we have kept the industrial persons in our governing body, as well as we have kept them as a corporate mentor. They are coming to the campus regularly and giving them the tips which is required to make the students corporate ready. According to that only, we are preparing individual students scorecard, and based on the scorecards, we are taking the action. Okay, so that at the end of the 2 years or 3 years, we can make the students corporate ready. Means we are providing 100% placement assistance, not guarantee. Guarantee only we can give only when the student can ensure that I am now ready. Because we can invite the campus companies, but students have to perform inside the room. So for how to perform, that things we are providing the students. We are preparing them. So I will not take more time. Thank you all once again for joining this webinar, and I express my sincere gratitude to our learned panel members for sparing their valuable time and sharing their knowledge and experience to the students, which is going to be a value addition today. Thank you all. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. Now, I would like to introduce our organizer, one of our organizers, CMA Manush Kumar Thakur, sir, the secretary, presently holding the post of secretary, the Kolkata Cost Management Society. He is one of the partners of Thakur and Company of Cost Accountants since 1993, which is based in Kolkata. He has been the president of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India for the period July 2016 to July 2017. And also, he has held the position of chairman, EIRC, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, from August 2009 to August 2010. I heartily welcome you, sir, to this webinar. Now I would like to welcome all our dear respected panelists and introduce them to the August gathering here. So firstly, I would like to introduce moderator of today's webinar, Mr. Pradeep Bandyopadhyay, who is an HR and IR professional having more than 25 years of experience in different corporates like Ambuja Cements, Berger Paints, Anandabajar Potrika. Presently, he heads the HR of East G4S Secure Solutions, Kolkata. He is a postgraduate from Calcutta University, IISWBM and NIPM, Kolkata. Welcome you, sir, to this webinar. And now to our respected panelists, CA Sudeep Prafulla Chakraborty, sir. He has been working since 1980 in various capacities in different types of industries in manufacturing, service, and advisory roles. He has spent a lot of time working in multiple finance functions at branch, regional, and corporate levels. Mr. Chakraborty has worked in accounting, audit, payables management, costing, pricing, IT systems, corporate accounting, training in personnel development, and IT enhancement skills, and also in the field of workflow process and process simplification. He has also contributed to the resource allocation, easing out operations, and Six Sigma Green Belt. His experience in industries spread from consumer durables, services industry, real estate, tea manufacturing, and distribution. At present, he is working with a company with interests in tea, carpet, real estate, and furniture business for the last 10 years. I welcome you, sir, to this webinar. I thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words.
Thank you, sir. Our second panelist is CMA Topon Banerjee, sir. With more than 30 years of work experience in finance, accounts, commercial, logistics, and customer care, Mr. Banerjee is a fellow CMA who has worked in HLL, Godrej and Boyce, Reliance Retail, Pidilite Industries, and is presently working as AVP Commercial, the VIP Industries. He loves humor, he is a sports enthusiast, and an ardent traveler. He likes to speak. He enjoys the company of friends and family when not at work. We welcome you, sir, on behalf of the organizers to this webinar. And thank you so much for sparing your precious time.
Thanks, Polomi, for your great speech introduction. Thank you.
I would like to introduce, last but not the least, our third panelist, Mr. Jyoti Prakash, presently CFO of Development Private Limited, a subsidiary of Tata Steel Limited. He has an experience of more than 28 years in various facets of finance and accounting. Mr. Prakash is an accountant and possesses postgraduate diploma in business management from Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar. Prior to being deputed as CFO of CPDPL from Tata Steel, Mr. Prakash was the Chief Finance and Accounts Officer, Engineering and Projects, Tata Steel, wherein he was responsible for project finance for all the projects of Tata Steel India operations. I welcome you all, sir, to this webinar on behalf of the organizers. Thank you once again for sparing your precious time with us. And
Thank you, Pauline.
I now hand over the session to the moderator, Mr. Pradip Bandyopadhyay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Poulami Bhattacharjee, for the nice introduction that you gave to all the panelists and also my introduction. A good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
On behalf of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Institute of Management Science, I welcome the honorable panelists, Mr. Sudhir Prafulla Chakraborty, Mr. Topon Banerjee, and Mr. Jyoti Prakash. Indeed, as rightly mentioned by Dr. R.K. Patro, who set the tone for this discussion, skills required to make the students employable. I think we cannot have a better and a learned panel than this one, relating to the discussions and the students who are there. I see already around 80 plus students have logged in. So for them, it will indeed be an experience which they will, not only an experience and learning, which they would which is required for them. Not only it's required, but it's also the applicability of the learnings in the corporates that they will join in the near future. Now, before we start the discussion, maybe a couple of words which I thought is imperative to share with the students and the honorable panelists over here relating to the employability skills. Dr. Patro very rightly mentioned that an institute can give a degree, the domain knowledge, but there has to be certain attributes over and above these things which makes a student corporate ready. Now, what are these? Basically, these are the skills which make a student employable under the current scenario. Not only that, a certain very useful things which he mentioned, and during his speech was that we need to have certain out of the box thinkings, positive attitude. Moreover, a person has to be a good human being, a very important thing which Dr. Patro mentioned. And some of the employability skills which Dr. Patro mentioned is relating to good communication, organizing and planning, which I am adding, in fact, conflict resolution, problem solving and decision making, negotiation skills, teamwork, adaptability, which is something very important, leadership, reliability and dependability. Now, these some of the skills being in HR, what I think that some of the skills are inherent in a person, but some skills need to be acquired. And that is where I want this erudite panelists to throw some light upon how it is possible for a student who on the verge of ending his career in education and entering the corporate world, how is it possible for a student to have the skills, and what are the skills which are required to make them employable? Because again, as rightly mentioned at the beginning by Dr. Patro, is that there is a difference between employment and employability. So our discussions today would be that the students need to be employable, or the question of employability has to be discussed so that the students are in a position to be absorbed in the corporate along with the domain knowledge, along with the degree that they have acquired during their last 2-3 years of learning. Setting this pretext, I would request our honorable panelist, Mr. Sudhir Prafulla Chakravarti, who is the head of finance and accounts, Laxmi TN Group Industries, to kindly start the proceedings with his thoughts and ideas. My humble request to all of us who are here is that let this communication be a two-way communication. The students can always ask if they have any queries. I would request the students to please post in the chat box. I'll be there to take the questions from the chat box. Again, the time is limited. It may not be possible for the panelists to answer each and every question, but I believe whatever be your doubts and queries, the panelists can always take it offline even after the completion of this session. So with this, Mr. Chakraborty, if you can kindly start the proceedings. The students are very eager to know from you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those words, and you have set the right tones right. Now, I hope I am audible clearly.
Yes, sir, you are absolutely audible.
Okay, I welcome all the students who are there, who are attending this session. Good evening to all. The point which I would like to keep it very simple and straight. I am not going to deliver any message or anything. I would like to share my experiences of my own life as to how I came up the way where I have come up with, and what are the learnings that I have seen which has helped me grow, which have helped me become more employable, as you rightly said. So a few things I would like to talk about. One, definitely I would like to talk about being a person who is not only humble, or he or she has to be passionate about his work, his or her work. Basically, you need to be very clear about what you want to do and how you want to do. And to get into this mode, you need to learn a few things while on the work. So first of all, I would like to say that you should, most often what you have seen is, an MBA graduate or a chartered accountant or a cost accountant. I'm simplifying them. I'm not saying CMA and others. I'm saying a professional comes into a field and starts showing his or her aura, saying that I am a qualified person and all that. I think you have to understand, in any organization when you are working in, there is always some people who are more experienced than you. You have to appreciate that. They may be lower in your ranks than you, but they are more knowledgeable. They are more experienced than you in the field of that work. To be with them, to be passionate about the work, and also to be more friendly towards them and be humble towards them is very important. So you need to be very clear about that. One issue which Dr. Patra had said, and I would like to highlight on that, is that there are no shortcuts. We have all along heard, in our various, you need to be hard worker, you need to be a strong worker, but I always had to say you have to work smarter than harder. Smarter does not mean taking shortcuts. Smarter means very clearly that you find the shortest route to your result. But once you are clearly aware of what your objectives are or what your work is, at that particular point of time, you will be able to find the shortest route to your final result. So few things which you need to do to be able to do in this is, to practice in your daily life. You practice this habit of doing things in your daily life, you get, I'll give you some examples also. Doing it in the smartest way. So first of all, you must know what you are trying to achieve. Most often we jump into work without actually knowing what we are going to achieve. We learn along on our way that this is what your goal is. And that is where some way you always get confused sometimes and the end result comes late. You must be working very hard to achieve that end result. But most often we find it that, ultimately at the end you are actually late or you are not in a position to deliver the result on time. So first of all, you must be very, very clear about what your objectives are, what you want to do to achieve the result. And second is then you find the shortest route to that final result. Taking a shortcut is not bad, though but you must be smart enough to take the shortest route to the end result. So to be smart, you actually need to be aware. You need to know the entire work, and then only you can take the shortest route. I have learned it the very difficult way, having spent a lot of midnight, having burnt a lot of midnight oil. That once I am thorough with my knowledge of the work, then only I have been able to take the shorter routes. And that is the key way in which I have achieved simplification of work. Chartered accountants, cost CMA, management accountants are very, very clearly known to be control freaks. But I have all along seen that control does not help. It can only guide you to a particular process. So control is what you can control effectively. The rest of it should not be there at all. Some of my friends and colleagues who have worked with me are very clearly aware of it. They have all along believed that I have been able to make them believe that control is where things work out in a little different way. So let us take one example. Can the others mute this, mute it, so that I can continue? So the point is, when one person goes from point A to point B, there may be 4 or 5 routes. You need to know all the 4 or 5 routes. Say if I am in Calcutta, Kolkata right now, so I need to know if I have to go from Godihat to Dalhousie, what are the various routes that I need to go through. And then being aware, I should be able to take the shortest route for reach from Godihat to Dalhousie. So you need to know, you need to explore various routes from Godihat to Dalhousie to be able to reach Godihat to Dalhousie in emergency or at times of urgency by the shortest possible route. Most often, we do not do these exploratory activities at our leisure. So when we have time, we should explore these possibilities so that when it comes to a pressure situation, we should be able to take that kind of a shortcut, which will enable us to reach our destination fastest. So how does this help? How does this work out in a professional life? Like learning is one of them. Learning to hone up various skills. Learning should be, you should always be willing to learn and learn from anybody and everybody. We are most often, we do not open our eyes to things. We most often ignore certain things. So like when you are, yesterday I was traveling from one place to another, and I was asking one of my colleagues as to how did you reach this destination? He said, I don't know. I told the driver, he got his GPS and he drove me through. I said, but I can't tell my driver to go drive through the using the GPS because I need to know, because there are quite a few issues with reaching that destination, one-way routes. I need to reach on time. So he was mum, because he was, all along when the driver was driving him through, he didn't see which route he was traveling through. He didn't see what are the destination, what are the signposts which are there around. Fortunately for me, I could connect to somebody else who told me that this is the way forward. If I had to reach that destination within 10 minutes, and if my other friend did not help me, I would not have been able to reach, because this lane to which I went in, it actually was on a one-way path. So if I skipped that, I would have to take a 15-minute detour to come back. So like that, you must always learn your methods. You must know what is your, you must know very clearly all the skills. Like when you are working today, most often, depending on the nature of work, I don't know what all work you will be engaged in, but spreadsheet skills are very important. Now, most often we learn spreadsheet skills, but what we don't do is use those skills in our learning process. One example I can give you, and I would like the students to actually try and see how best they can do it, is I had one training session where I had actually asked some of the students to do it. There was a article published sometimes in, I think, 2001 or 2, which is still available, if I'm not mistaken, on the internet. You can search. Are the 100 sixes that Adam Gilchrist had hit. Search for them. It's a text file. You use that text file to analyze the sixes that Adam Gilchrist has hit. It had a plethora of information: the direction, the bowler, the field, the time, and all those information are available. But those information had to be put on a spreadsheet in a particular manner by which you can use them to give any answers to questions that can come up. Say how many sixes of one bowler he has hit, how many sixes has he hit on a particular ground, how many sixes has he hit in a particular month of a year, and any question regarding his sixes you can find out from that, and that is your skill that is going to help you in the long run. You must be able to use similar kind of information in your practical life when you do, say, sales analysis, purchase analysis, payables analysis, performance analysis. The matrices that will come up will help you in doing this. Try if you can do it. It will be wonderful for you to learn the process. It's a text file, so converting a text file using various options of Excel. You will not do it outside Excel. You do it within Excel. The various options of Excel, Microsoft Excel you can do, and that will help you. I had similar experiences to share. I have plethora of experiences to share, but I won't get into too many of them because then I will be eating up on my other co-panelists' time. But this is one area which you need to. And second important thing is, I think most often we simply do not plan our activities. Most often what happens is we start our activity without knowing the plan, actually how to do the work. So it is very important we spend some time every time we do certain things, and we should inculcate it as a habit of life, even in our personal life. We should actually plan. Now, if I have to go and attend this program, say for the example, to attend this program, you are here. You know it is going to start at 5 o'clock. So what are the things that you need to do to be able to be present at 5 o'clock is something that you need to be ready for. Okay, so you need to plan out as to what time you should be starting your computer, what time you should be starting your machine, how much, what are the various options. Like today, when I was trying to get the login, two of my network was not working. Fortunately for me, the third network worked. But I had those three networks available right with me. So I could connect in immediately without much delay. So similar, alternatives, you need to know your alternative resources. You need to know what are the options which are available if something fails. So those questions you must always ask yourself. Am I ready? Will I be on time? What time should I start this activity? So if I started the activity at 5, I know 5 o'clock is the program. So if I started this activity at 4:45, probably I would have been late. But because I started it at 5:35, I was still be able to take it on time to start to be at the present in the program by 5 o'clock. So we must work out, we must see what are the eventualities, and that should become a part of our life. I mean, that is what is most important. Lastly, I would like to say one more thing is that, when I talked about passion, I also want to say that, each and everything that we do in life, whether it is personal life or professional life, we need to enjoy that. I keep giving these statistics to a lot of people where I have spoken. See, the creamy part of our life goes in work. Now, if you don't enjoy that part of our life, we actually are left with very little enjoyment. Now, you start work at 9:30 and normally you work up to 6:30. So a 9 hour of your 24 hours is gone. If you are going to start at 9:30 work, you actually need to be preparing for work from 7:30 or 8. So another 2 hours is gone. Similarly, when you are after work, you are reaching home, you are not spend another 1.5 to 2 hours commuting or otherwise. Today, of course, quite a few of us are actually working from home, but outside of that, we are actually taking away at least 12 to 14 hours of our time in work or work-related activities. If I take out 6 hours of my sleeping time, so I'm left with only 3 to 4 hours of time where I'm exhausted to enjoy. So it is the work time that I need to enjoy. It is the study time or the study place where I'm doing my studies. I need to enjoy my successes. Enjoyment doesn't mean fun and folly. Enjoy means if I have learned something new today, I must enjoy that, saying that yes, I have learned this. Enjoyment means also that I am very happy to know that I can do this. Quite often we ignore this, and that is where things change our life a little differently. We start becoming obstinate. We start becoming a little difficult in our own life. So that is something which we always must remember. To be industry ready, you need to have these kind of these skills in your personal life on an ongoing basis. These are the things people want, and these are the things which will make you more riskable in the whole organization that you are going to get into. You people will appreciate your efforts. People will appreciate your thought processes in this regard. If you are on time every time, people will say this person is punctual. He knows and respects the time of others. Being punctual is one thing. When being punctual means much more to the people who are there with whom you work. Okay. So you are actually, if I am ready at 5 o'clock, if 10 other people come at 5:30, it means you are disrespecting me for my presence at 5 o'clock. So that is very, very important for us to know that, I must be punctual. If I have given a time to somebody, I must be there by that time, come what may, unless there is some emergency, in which case must inform that, because of this emergency, I cannot attend, I cannot do something. There are certain things which can happen in life. So that is the kind of thing which I would expect you to inculcate in your daily routine from now onwards, if you have not done it. And this will help you grow in life. This will help you make you a more gentle person, and you are amiable person, a more person with whom everyone else would like to gel with. I hope can take some queries in this regard from the students when they
Thank
post
you.
such.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chakraborty. Thank you so much for your words. In fact, a couple of quite a few takeaways from what you said is that whatever you do, you should do passionately. That is something very, very,
Yes, very much, very important.
very important. And another thing which that you mentioned is that enjoy things, whatever you do, which there should be what we say that it's a work-life balance. There should be a perfect work-life balance between your professional and your personal activities.
No, I think let me clarify this. I mean, some people, I'm saying that, in personal life you enjoy, that's a different story. But you as an individual should enjoy the work which you are doing, because you
Absolutely.
enjoy your success of your work. Because see, when you are enjoying with somebody else, it's a group enjoyment. But for yourself as an individual, you must enjoy, because that will only bring in more passion to the work.
Whatever,
Yes,
sir,
great.
you're mean to say is whatever you are doing, you should have the full enjoyment in that. Then only
Yes.
you'll do it passionately, and that will obviously result in your better inputs and more productive. Absolutely.
Yes.
So one thing what you mentioned is so important is the appreciation of experience. I like this word, but absolutely. Whenever these students will be joining an organization, they will come across people who are with wisdom, with experience, and they should appreciate. And if I'm allowed to say, sir, they should also take the most from these experienced people, because that is a learning process, in fact, sir.
Exactly. In fact, I'll give you one very simple set example. I was doing an audit of Indian Iron and Steel Company. As a very senior accountant there, I was there. At 2 o'clock in the night, I was doing some work with him, and there was an error. So he corrected that error. So I was actually deleting that error with my pen mark and was rewriting it with erasing that pencil mark, and I was rewriting it. He said, "Don't do it. Please don't do it. You do a strike through, write the
Correct.
whole number. Once the entire work is over, then rub it." I said, "Why?" He said very clearly that, "Look, you have done all your previous work is completed with this number. Now, if you change this number and next time when you try to relocate this number with your other work numbers, you'll not get this. If you have a strike through, you can still see that this number is there. So you can reconcile very fast." I said, "This is a wonderful learning for me." This learning was there in 1985. I still remember it today.
Absolutely, sir.
That is the kind of, and he was away, and I could have told him that you don't understand accounting better than me. But I learned that, so I had to absorb that from him immediately, and I practice it even today.
Absolutely. And I think students are listening to this. This is something very important which sir is telling, by how he came to learn about this simple thing from during the course of his audit. And that is something so important that people should have this takeaway, sir. That is what you want to say. This simple, simple happening
that is exactly.
Create an impact, so that after so many years today, now you are sharing this with the students.
Yes.
Sir, another thing which you said so critical is that work smarter. It's not a shortcut route. It is to take the shortest route. I like this statement, sir. Absolutely, very correct statement. There is no compromise on shortcuts. You cannot take the shortcuts, but you know how to take the shortest route, which is the smartest route, I think. The shortest route is the smartest route. That is how you work.
Yes, yes, yes. One more thing which I missed out is quite often we get into a mess because we have 10 work to do, but I can deliver only 3 or 4. We fail to prioritize. We
Prioritization.
must be able, yes, that is very, very important in our work life. And if people start inculcating them in their personal life, then they will also start learning that in their work life.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it has to be a work life and personal life has to gel in that sense.
Exactly. And another thing, sir, which you mentioned is that please be specific. I am quoting your words. Please be specific with what you are trying to achieve. So this is also something very important. If you can say a couple of lines, because sometimes I see the students, I also interact with them. They lose that purpose, or they are not specific. They are a bit confused to what to take up, how to do.
I'll share an experience of mine.
Sir.
I'll share. This will help. I think. There was a program which I had to attend. I mean, it was an IT implementation program. So the IT software guys were there. I, as a finance representative, was there, and I had requested the presence of my tax consultant, the person who was handling tax, sales tax, VAT, and those types. So I asked him to come. He was doing a very, very critical work for the company at that particular point of time, involving some crores of rupees demand. I still insisted and brought him into the picture. He called the office of the IT team and said, "I'm coming. Please be present, because I have very short amount of time. I will not be able to spend much time." He came and he found nobody was there. He waited for about 30-45 minutes. Angry, he went back. He wrote a letter which was very nasty. Nasty, and the nastiness was quite appreciated by me, at least. But the point was, he said, certain words he used, he said certain things, which actually, later on it became such that I was also traveling to other activities. I was doing some other activities. It was in Bombay. So by the time I actually accessed my mail, I saw the managing director of the company commenting on those comments. I told everyone, look, you stop this messaging business. The IT head, the managing director, the guy, the sales tax consultant, and all, that I know what has happened. The truth is, you have not appreciated the time of that guy who was actually doing a very critical work. I pulled him out of that. He actually went after asking you that, I'm coming, is it okay for you? I'll be present. And nobody was present at that particular point of time. He has every reason to be angry.
Exactly.
He has every reason to be annoyed. I asked very specific question to the IT head, who was actually taking it up on behalf of his teammates, as to what was the reason why these people were not present. You think you are the most important person and he is not? You can take away his time? So, but without being specific that this is my problem and this is what you have done to me, he went about saying certain things. I will never attend such programs. I will never attend these. I will never attend that. Because he was not specific to the problem, it started becoming a big issue. Exactly. That he has a personal issue, exactly. Which was not the case. Okay, and it was only after that, when I wrote that message for everyone, the managing director, or even the managing director, had said I had wrongly interpreted the whole issue. Okay,
exactly.
Now, because he was not specific, he didn't say what he wanted to say. In his annoyance, the whole thing. Now, if you want to give another example in this sense, is that if you want to, show a trend of sales, I'm taking a very simple example. Trend of sales in a marketing organization. Now, if you want to show that, if you know exactly what are the sources of this information, how you are going to show the trend, so you draw up your plan as to how you want to show the trend. Is it in blocks? Is it in groups? Is it in product mixes? Is it individuals? Is it in days and times? What are the matrices? What are the data that you want to present? How you want to present? Prepare that, and then prepare your data based on that. So when you are actually doing the final result, you know that the data which you have prepared is ready. Most often what happens is we start preparing the data and then we try to achieve that final result and then find that I have not calculated this, I have not calculated that. So don't do that. Do framework yourself in such a manner. This is what I got to report, and for this I need this information. I prepare this information, and so that when you are preparing the final report, you have no confusion.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chakravarti. A couple of questions which I see in the chat box, of which one from Sonak Basu. Sir, could you please enlighten us on to maintain a work-life balance at a respective workplace? I think that has already been discussed. Maybe if you need...
I will also explain this a little bit. Work-life balance is something which is personal. It is something which you have to manage. Okay. In the initial phase,
I think there is some problem with the connectivity of Mr. Chakravarti.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if anyhow we'll this connectivity has not yet been restored. So what we can do is that we can move to the next panelist, Mr. Tapan Banerjee, AVP VIP Industries. A warm welcome to you, sir. I would request Mr. Banerjee if you can kindly proceed. Before you proceed, Mr. Chakravarti, I think there was some disruption in the connectivity. So we will take up this question maybe at the end and during the question and answer session. So let us start with our next panelist, Mr. Tapan Banerjee. Yes, sir, the stage is yours, sir.
Thanks, Pradeep. Respected Dr. Patra, all professor of BIMS, Manas, the main motivator for bringing this platform on. I always appreciate Manas for this kind of initiative, which goes a long way. Of course, all the students, I can see in this entire batch, the future general managers, future presidents, future CEOs of our country. And let us get delighted. This is a time in India, we are poised for huge economic growth in all the industries. Take it retail, take it digital economy, take it infrastructure, take it knowledge-based industries, take it pharma, consumer durables. I know for sure we are into COVID, but we do not forget our economy is very strong so far consumption is concerned. The COVID will go away one day. Today, tomorrow, the advancement of knowledge, the vaccinations, of course, our discipline will come into the picture, will go away. But all who are present here want to hear from us. If we are representing industry, if we are representing corporates, please take it from us. At times before COVID, we used to recruit people in hundreds. Then in the industry I belong is luggage industries, a travel industries, and basically industries who cater to the need of marriage, travel, school goers, college goers. We are affected, but we are not down. So I'm going to tell you at this point of time, when you have graduated as a manager, a bright gang of MBAs from a premier institute like BIMS, there is nothing to be thought about that whether I'm going to be recruited or not recruited. You have done your job more than enough. Come up to this stage, getting the knowledge from very, very eminent faculties of BIMS. Believe you me, if somebody comes to me a CV forwarded to me with something written on BIMS, the 50% job is done. I'll tell you some secret. In corporates, we do not have much time. We get hundreds of CVs. Our HR is flooded with CVs. On an average, we give 5 to 6 seconds. Surprised? Don't be. Because we don't have time to look at your CVs for more than 5 to 6 seconds, sometimes 10 seconds. Your CVs, your resumes in 10 seconds, in 6 seconds, what all can give? The CVs should talk about yourself. Then you meet. Then you get to see somebody from BIMS. The screening is done. That's the legacy of the institute you are passing through. So my congratulations to all of you that you have done the first level of hurdles. Your way forward career in the industry. See, all of you are a future talent of this country. I will tell my experience of my journey and match with your requirements. I know what are the points presently going through your mind. You're not interested in our lecture. You're interested to know what should you do to get a job. Basic question in all of your mind. Take your hand to the heart and ask you, what do I want? Do I want a lecture? No. You want a job. How do you get the job? I'll tell you. Just listen to me for next 10-15 minutes time. I am not a man of a few words. Given a mic, I can talk. I have given to my introductions that I have to speak. And speak to whom? Speak to a community where I belong. When I started my career from Calcutta, BIMS is the institute I wanted to get in. But life takes you to different routes. You ask something, you get something. Nothing wrong. I have a lot of friends who are passed out from BIMS and done progress in their life. Our institute, CA Institute, are doing great job in their work. But always we feel a gap in getting candidates. I'm appraising them in interview board, but I have a mind whether he will come to my desk in my department and will deliver. And why this thought process is coming to our mind? Because of something for which the institute has taken a courage, a step to call us and share our experience with all of you. We have gone through the process several times. In my life, I have given interview in hundreds. I have taken interview in thousands in last 30 years. So some sort of experience, always I get excited when I get an opportunity to share with you. See, the HR professionals, when you meet HR professionals in India, top grade HR professionals, they will come to near to you and say, I have job. But the candidate we get, 75% of the candidate do not meet the requirement of employability. Very pathetic. Once we hear this, there's something wrong. We are producing numbers of MBAs, good MBAs with rank like, you call it 9.5, 9.9, 10. CAs, ranker, cost accountant, rankers. When it comes to the point of the interview, the HR professional says, and we also sometimes face, there is something, some element is missing, and it is our responsibility. Institute has taken the right step to bring you here, and please listen to us carefully. All of you, very, very near to that breaking that ice, that getting a job, going into the industry, and then perform. It's very difficult to give a speech after Sudeep sir. And incidentally, he used to be my first boss of a kind who has given us training, holding our hands. So it's difficult, but I'll try my level best to keep up what I have learned from Sudeep sir in the early career of mine in Calcutta. See, presently, once we talk about skill set, we need to understand what is the skill set all about. In very simple term, skill set is nothing but natural talent in you. Skill set is natural talent which is in you. And some sort of sharpening the skill set can be done by professional institute, which BIMS already has done to all of you. The skill set added with domain knowledge, plus your soft skill, your hard skill, your technological skill makes you a natural skill set eligible for entering into any industry, any corporates. Am I making my point clear? Skill set is nothing but a natural talent in you, sharpened by your institute, which is added with domain knowledge, plus soft skill, plus hard skill, plus technology. I'll come to explain with examples in each of it. Once I come into the points of each and every skills, I would like to have one line for all of you. The most important part, which I have gone through, there are several books will tell you what are the skill set required. There are several people who will come into your contact and tell you, you need to have this skill set. You need to have this skill set. But let me address today, how do you get this skill set? It's very important. Because all of you know today, perhaps while going for an interview or while getting ready for a positions in the industry, in whatever industry you want to join, wherever your natural liking goes, you need to have certain skills. What is important, unfortunately, some of our curriculum presently in India, be it a government-owned industry, government-owned professional institute, or private institute, or the academic structure in our country, it doesn't tell you most of the cases how. Okay, there are certain hard way you need to learn how. Like when you meet your professors in the class, there are ways to tell you how you need to get those skill set. Natural talent is there. There are a lot of people in the villages and tribal areas, those who can throw an object. Can they be a javelin Olympic gold medalist? I think they need to, with the talent, they need to sharpen their skill. They need to learn how to hold the arrow, how to hold that arrow, how to run, how to take up the speed. Where is the momentum adding with velocity? You have to throw that arrow, and the arrow should travel X meters of distance so that you win. That job is being done by the eminent professors of BIMS. The words of Dr. Patra in very, very simple bullet point are very, very useful. I'll only reiterate some of them. We talk about communication skill, communication skill, how to speak. Unfortunately, many of us, in fact, I believe all of us, are very good in our domain knowledge. We know what is management. What is management theories? What is HR management? What is production management? What is sales management? How is the finance management done? How is the operation management goes? Learned. If you know what is management, but you cannot express to somebody, there comes a question of acquiring communication skill. Very simple. Students, listen carefully. Practice orating. You may not be a very good orator, but you should speak. You should speak in a manner whereby from you to the next person whom you are communicating is very clear. I know many candidates who comes to us, I can understand that person or the student has good domain knowledge, but unable to express himself. Practice 2-3 things. Your communication skill is going to increase. I am telling this in several occasions whenever I'm getting opportunities. You stand in front of a mirror. If you are shy nature, do it in a closed room. Every day in front of a mirror, you think the other person is your friend or an interviewer or your professor, and you speak on a subject, whichever subject you like. It can be sports, it can be entertainment, it can be marginal utility theory, it can be sales management, it can be operational management, any subject you like, or it can be an Afghan crisis. You speak in front of a mirror. Can be one. Looks like silly, but I'll tell you, do this for 3 months. Your vocabulary, your communication skill will enhance by 20 to 30% straight away. I will tell you my practical experience, how I have done it. You take your friend, of course you have friends, who can cooperate with you and decide some part of your conversations, you will do it in English so that you become fluent in communicating whatever there is in your mind. You want to go to a coffee shop, ask him, okay, come, let's go to a coffee shop. Normally, we tend to talk in our mother tongue. But in interview board, you have to express in a different language to increase your communication skill, increase the right choosing of word. I remember my college days. I'm a pass out from Ramakrishna Mission. And first days in Goenka College of Commerce, Calcutta, I could only understand the professor is telling good morning student and the last word, thank you very much, that's all for the day. In between, whatever has been said, I have no problem in accepting the fact I have not understood a single line of it because I was not from that kind of culture. But what happened? Had I been bogged down that I am not being able to understand, my study, my journey would have been stopped there. I started improvising, learning, choosing a friend who knows little lesser than me, started talking to him with any choiceable subject. My vocabulary started increasing. It is said in English, the opposite side of fear is victory. You heard? डर के आगे जीत है. सुना हम लोगों ने. Opposite side of fear is victory. So most of us carry a kind of fear in expressing ourselves in a different language. If we can come up out of that fear and start without looking at who is looking at me, who is telling me something, I think we will come up in communications, skill will go up by several percentage. And when your communication is clear, when your domain knowledge is solid, when you have other attributables, getting a job, winning a job is only a cakewalk. Believe me, in the panel, when I'm there for my company recruiting people, be it in sales, be it in operations, be it in design, systems, finance, we are a small company. So we're a company of 2,000 crores, having 1,800 people in productions, 1,300 people in sales and marketing, and some 100 people in finance, operation, accounts, and other back-end operations. So as a senior board member, when you go for recruiting people, we look around in the candidates, whether he is able to express the domain knowledge he has learned from the institute. Same thing happens when you go for campus. I have experience of going to campus, various campuses in CA, ICW campuses, last 10 years. And I've been recruiting management trainees and system trainees and commercial trainees. I am being a management trainee from Hindustan Lever, 1987 to 1989 batch. And then moved upward in my journey. So this first point of communication skill, you need to do by practicing yourself, talking to your friends, standing in front of a mirror. and he will increase, I'm sure. Second point, if somebody is noting, please note. Second point, your listening skill. Only expressing will not be good enough. You have to listen carefully. Most of us in the Viva or in the group discussions or our interview, we think that I have to speak. I will not allow others to speak. That goes against you. You should have a proper listening skill. If you listen well, you'll be able to grasp that subject well, question well, understand, analyze the question properly in your mind, and then when you come up for answering that question, that becomes a perfect situations when you answer the questions in right kind of spirit and the answer is accepted. The third point of your skill set, what is looked for getting a job. I will cover the point in terms of what are the points which is required for getting into the industry. After getting a job, there are certain attributes which continue to be there with you. But for a group of people who are presently here, to my mind, it is most important that they should have the first winning point of getting a job. Once you get a job, then you continue to carry this kind of these characteristics in you. So when you do follow this kind of skill set in your work journey, it will not only help you to get a job, continue the job, and get a progress in your career path. Second things, we have talked about listening skill. When we talk about your problem solving attitude, what do you look at in a given period of 30 minutes or 45 minutes, whether the candidate is good in communication and whether he has a listening skill, but does he carry the attitude of solving problem? Because most of you, when you join in an organization as managers, you need to exhibit a kind of qualities of solving problem. There are amples of problems, and solving a problem is not by one individual. It takes multiple individuals, group activity, and working cohesively for solving a problem. Do you have that attitude or ability to solve a problem? Now, how do you solve a problem? You have a domain knowledge. You know how to reconcile. You know how to make sales. You know how to do a planning, either a supply planning or demand planning. You have this domain knowledge, but do you have the attitude of solving problem? That's it we looked into. So please acquire this attitude of solving problem with a positive attitude, which will give a degree up in your board so that you are close to getting a job in the first instance. Way forward, this attitude will continue to be there with you in whatever functions you are, be it in service industry, be it in manufacturing industry, be it in consumer durable industries, or for that matter, any organizations. This scale goes lifelong till you continue to survive and till you continue to have growth in your career. The other skill set which is required is the leadership quality. A lot of things are talked about leadership quality. What is the leadership quality? Is definition wise very, very clear. You need to come up as a leader in a situations where you are appointed in a functions to lead. This quality sometimes is inherent. Okay. Some of you think of your college days, you go to attend a class. Once the class is over, you're on the road to go home. And 9 of you, you discuss how to go back. And you keep on discussing. I'll take a cab, I'll take a train, I'll take metro ride, or I'll take auto rickshaw to reach home. Somebody gives you an proposal. Let's go via a cinema hall. Or somebody gives you a proposal, let's go for a coffee. So many options are available in company. A leader comes up and says, okay, do this. Let's take metro, go to a nearby station, have a cup of coffee or tea, and from there we'll push up into our respective home. Finding out a quick solutions and leading a situation gives you a degree up in any organization, in any functions. This is nothing but a leadership quality. These qualities already with you. You are a leader in your own capacity. Only things you have to sharpen these qualities to make effective contribution in whichever functions you are going to assume in future. This is judged. This is the perceptions by the interview board, and this perception will not always work for you. You have to earn it. Your attitude, be it vocal, be it body gesture, be it facial expressions, the board will understand whether this guy is saying that he is a natural leader, whether he is a leader or not. It's very important. Your gesture, your body movement, the way you talk, the way you keep your eye line straight gives lot of qualities to the other side of the table. Okay. The next quality we look at in a candidate is called initiative and enterprising. A person comes, any question is asked, he is very good. Answers the questions, all bookish type, from the book, absolutely right. When a question is asked, answer is given. When a question is asked, answer is given. We keep on asking questions which may not be relevant. Whether we pick up that relevant question and give from there some initiative to come back which can contribute to the company in a different way. Initiative. I'll add a story. I used to work in a company of adhesives. One particular adhesive was not getting sold in a particular South Indian state. One sales guy took initiative. Every day he used to take a cart, a small cart, some package, used to run around the wholesale market. No sales, only one cart in the wholesale market, run around 2 to 3 times. Initiative. Now what has happened? Every dealer started thinking, this material is going to my competitor. Next material is going to my next shop. So slowly, all the dealer started thinking the buying, and hence he will be making money. I'll be left out. After 2 weeks, each and every shop in the wholesale market started giving orders. And the product, which was otherwise not getting sold, started showing some demand. So sometimes it says in economics that supply creates its own demand. But unless you take initiative, the demand will not be created. It's a very thoughtful process of the salesperson to create some amount of initiatives, and the market started budging in. There was consumer for that ready. That guy understood the only lacking in things by the company in that market is initiative. A small initiative of exhibition of supply makes the demand revived. This is one of the case study was taken in IIM Bangalore from our company at that point of time. The company is Pidilite Industries and the state is Kerala. So this is a real life case of initiative and enterprising. But some of you may say that in the initiative and enterprising in the interview board, how will I make my interviewer understand that I'm having initiative? But believe you me, the kind of answer and the way you speak the answer, it is understood by the very, very experienced people, whether you are only talking and will be able to deliver that. Along with your domain knowledge and your background of professional examinations, backup for believing that there is a chance of that this guy is going to deliver his enterprising skill or initiative skill. Okay. Then let me come to a very vital one. Sometimes we are individually very good. So are we good individually only? Will it solve my employability? If I'm individually good? Yes, individually good is required. What is more so required that I am good individually. Also, I can work in a team. That's called teamwork. Your skill set to work as a team. Very simple. This is an attitude, is a soft skill. You need to develop your understanding, your mindset to work in a team. Think of a football match. Think of a football match. If there is no teamwork, is it possible for a team to win a match? May not be no. Because teamwork gives the absolutely required coordination for achieving it. Okay, so teamwork and collaborative attitude. I can work with my fellow colleague. If you depict a kind of attitude that I will do all, I can do all, that sometimes depict your individual capabilities. But what is looked at from industry, from corporate, that you also have an attitude that you can work along with team. As a leader, you will show the path, you will show the guidelines, and you will be taking your team member to a desired set of objectives. So this teamwork is another skill set for your employability. When you have these qualities, another quality is looked at is whether you are having a data and time management. I think Sudeep sir has touched this point. This data management and time management is very, very important. Nowadays, you must be knowing India is going through the digital revolution. You have heard of the digital revolution? Each and every industry is trying their hands for making India digital. Lot of AIs are being used in various processes. Artificial intelligence coming in a big way. So there will be a lot of data. We sometimes get confused with the data. The data analytics coming as a subject, all of you must be having some amount of information and you are some amount of expertise you must have gone through. This management of data in a structured manner, which will help you decision making, would be a skill set for you. When you go for a real life job in your desk day to day, you will be required to analyze various sets of data, accumulate them with all other attributes, and then take a correct decisions. Unless you have this ability, this skill, and you cannot depict, if you do not depict that skill set, your employability, your chance of getting into an interview is minimized. Okay, so this is one of the things, data and time management. Time management, I don't have to evaluate, it's a huge subject. All of us know, you have gone through, even if you know entire books, but you are given only 3 hours, or only 6 questions or 10 questions to answer, you need to score 50% of score to pass. So time management is very important. At what point of time coordinate, you have to do X amount of work so that you become deliverable for the organizations. So managing your time, now if I elaborate this, it will be a long discussions. Time management goes to a work-life balance as well. Very difficult. Some of us managed to do, some of us we couldn't manage. Sometimes we say, sorry, yeah, I have no time because I have some work. I'll go back home and I'll do some email finishing, reading emails and all. Take family time out. Constantly somebody is working out. I don't know there is any perfect answer for work-life balance or life-work balance. In cases where you do not have to work, the work becomes life. That becomes life-life balance, not work-life balance. For some people who have reached a kind of knowledge, they said yes, doing a work within 5 and allowing others to do the work 5 efficiently. But cutting the unproductive hours is the best methodology to achieve work-life balance. Time management is very important. In our time, when the job used to come, earlier days, audit report is to submitted, I have to submit audit report to Sudeep sir. That audit report goes with a time-bound manner. I have to give this by end. Unless this time management factor is not taken into consideration, even if you make it very, very qualitative, it goes like items which said events after balance it. The time management in our work, in whatever we do, is very, very essential. Okay. Nowadays, the companies has become very, very aggressive because wherever 10 people is required, the company takes 6, and there's a cost reduction. And how should we get into that situation? What quality I should acquire to fit into the bill of big corporates? Earlier, there are organizations who cannot manage their cost, and eventually they become sick and the company closed down. A lot of aspect or analysis goes on around cost. So that goes to a number of people will be recruited. I know companies who are hiring thousands per year. You take, for example, Infosys. On an average, Infosys recruits 20,000 people. Accenture, TCS, Wipro, you name it. They take people in thousands. And also there are people.
Mr. Banerjee, we are running short of time. I'm sorry.
I said that I needed art because when I speak to this audience, I can't restrict myself.
I know that. And it is so insightful. It's so.
I will take a minute and close.
Sorry, but we are running short of time. That is the thing.
Okay. So what all these skill set which we discussed will be what? Let me sum up. If we have this skill set, the first tangible benefit is going to be you will be able to enter industry. You will be able to crack a job first. Second, in that job, you will become, if you follow this trait and continue to improve on that, you will be point number 1, you will be a dependable employee. Point number 2, you will be an employee who will be easily get along. Point number 3, you will be open to learning and growth. These three things will come on the way to your career.
Thank
you. All the best. Hearing from us, if it gives you some amount of energy, and wish you all the best for your career. BIMS, you will achieve all the positions available in your career journey. Thank you very much. Any questions specific?
Yes,
my industry and other industries as well.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. Thanks. We had to cut short your deliberations only because of the lack of time. We would have loved to hear. And obviously, I would request the students, it may not be possible to take the questions right now, but offline, you are always available, I believe. A couple of things which just very briefly I'm telling, because a lot of things which you said, but the takeaway is basically you were harping on this KSA model, that is knowledge, skills, attitude, which in HR we use it very often. The KSA model, knowledge, skills, attitude, which is something very, very very important. The skill set which you said, absolutely correct. The natural talent which is within you, along with you, domain knowledge and soft skills and hard skills, which the institute plays a very important role in getting this. And obviously the listening skills, the problem solving attitude, leadership, initiative, teamwork, data and time management, all these things you explained so elaborately, taking into account certain experiences from your life, also your work experience. Thank you so much. It would have been better that we had this discussion for another half an hour or so, but you can understand or appreciate the time constraint that we are having. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Now we have the third speaker. I would request Mr. Jyoti Prakash, the Chief Financial Officer, Creative Port Development Private Limited, to deliberate. Sorry, sir, you have been waiting for quite some time, but the discussions were so engrossing and a lot of learnings and takeaways, and especially it is catering to these 80 odd students who have logged in. So it's something so important. Thank you so much, sir. If you can kindly share your views, sir.
So thank you, Mr. Bandyopadhyay, and my compliments to all the seniors and the predecessors who have handled it. Dr. Patra, Mr. Sudeep Chakrabarti, and Mr. Tapan Banerjee. My life is, in fact, really easier now. I can say that, and I have got a reason to say that most of the things have been covered by them. So the life is pretty easier. But Mr. Bandyopadhyay, if you don't mind, how much time do I have so that I can plan my thoughts?
Sir, you can speak. Maybe
Okay.
you can speak, but we are already running short of time. But we would
So-
love to hear your valuable inputs. Maybe a 15,
So
10 to
15
15
minutes is
15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
15 minutes.
10 to 15
absolutely.
minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. We'd love to hear from you, sir.
Absolutely. So I will ensure that it is finished within 15 minutes. So thank you. And thank you, friends. I will say why friends. I will not say students. The reason is that I am one of the students. You can say that who keeps on learning on a daily basis, something or the other from somebody or the other. So you can understand that it is a game, and in the game you have to keep on learning. Let me start with some thoughts, and I will go on some 15, 16 points. And if at all you want to write it, you can note it down also. So let me start with that. See, like, first thing, what you need to do is that believe in yourself, right? You have to first believe in yourself that whatever you do, whatever you are doing, whatever you are going to do, that is where you are, right? And I will not be talking to those issues which you are being taught in the school campus or college campus. So that I will definitely not talk. I will be going straight that where your knowledge and skills is making you to employable, and from there I am coming. So whenever you are going for any interview or whenever you are going for any discussion, just simply talk eye to eye. If at all you are looking at somewhere else, people will not be interested in you. Let me be very frank and candid on saying so. The next part comes that whether you have got the related skills or not, related knowledge, skill set. Say suppose if you are going for accounting job, whether you have got the basic knowledge of accounting or not, that you have to see, right? So that becomes the first thing. Second thing, that if you have got the knowledge, then you have to say that whether you are passionate about a certain field or it is your last option, right? If at all you want to do the accounting, whether you are passionate about it or you feel that no, now I have not been able to do anything, so I am going for accounting job. If you are passionate, please be passionate. If not, then your efforts and deliverables will be different. The third point will be whether you are updated with the changes. Suppose if you are going into the accounting function, I will be taking more examples on the accounting, so don't mind, my friends. It is only to explain the things. So see, like in the accounting world also, a lot of things keep on happening, whether it is US GAAP, whether it is Ind AS, whether it is management, whether it is law. So like whether you are updated with the changes or not, people will be looking at your latest knowledge. They will not go to the stale knowledge, right? The next question comes that whether your knowledge is application based or it is not application based. I remember correctly that Mr. Tapan Banerjee was mentioning that whatever you do, whether this can be applied or you have got only theory knowledge. So my request would be that keep on doing practice. You understand that how it can be applied, right? So that you have to have the application-based knowledge. That and application-based learning, people will not be asking you that salary is a debit or credit. That they will not be asking you. They will be giving you the situation. In the situation, how do you respond to that? You have to look at, right? The fifth point will be, I will say that whenever you go, you are going for interview, prepare hard. Understand the job description, JD, what we say. Understand it well. Prepare it hard, right? And then you go with a complete positive attitude. People have been talking about attitude. Go with a positive attitude, right? Don't be don't be unnecessarily puzzled. Go with a positive attitude. Don't think that how many candidates are there, how many vacancies are there. These are none of your business, right? You have to crack only yours. And who is in competition? You are only yourself is in the competition. The balance you don't need to consider. So the next point comes with be honest to yourself. What do you want to do? Because you have to live with it, right? So just think about it, that whether I am honest about my job, whether I am honest about this answer, whether I am honest about the situation or not. This is you and you and you. So my point is very straightforward. I will not be talking anything different, right? Now, whenever you are going for any interview or anything, just grooming is very important. Be good and look good. I can only tell you that if you are going for UPSC exam, UPSC interview, and if you are going in dhoti kurta, only thing is sure that you will not be selected. Straight and simple. If you have not cut your beard, if you are not looking smart, if you are not looking eye to eye, if you are not looking honest to your question, if you are not candid, believe me, people will not take. So it may look that we are talking about the more of a negative, but it is not negative. It is only to give you the glimpse of the situation. I have been a recruiter for Tata Steel, and I can tell you that I have been going to the campuses. We have been looking for the people, and these are the pretty common and you can say straight jacketed questions or straight jacketed things which we look at. Wear a good attire which is meeting the requirement. Don't go in a completely crushed shirt or t-shirt in an interview. Don't go. Have a white shirt or maybe navy blue or maybe light blue, with the proper tie, etc. And just be very confident, right? So be good and also look good. That is what the next point was. Honest, I have already told you that be honest about yourself. Be confident. If at all you are a bit scared, at times it happens that you get scared during the interview. I will not say that it does not happen. It has happened with me as well. But you don't have many options, right? Take a small sip of water. Just be cool, calm. Don't let the puzzle worry you. Just be cool and calm. Look yourself. If at all you believe in God, pray God. That is a good option, and I will say that I believe in it. Pray God. It does not mean that pray God to take so that the God is going to help you in the interview, but He will give you the patience. He will give you the calmness. So pray to that extent. Now coming to that, see, I will tell you many a times it happens that we do not know the question. We do not know the answers of the many questions. I will say that, except that no is equally a good answer. If you do not know, say that, sir, I do not know. Don't beat around the bush. Right? If you do not know, pretty simple, sir, I do not know. Sir, nahi pata hai. Don't say that, sir, acha kaam kabhi nahi kiye, chale nahi pata hai. Sir, nahi pata hai. I am not able to correlate. I am not able to respond. Pretty simple. Right? Then I will say that, yeah. So the next question will come that whatever you say, you must have a good command over your language. Right? Whether you are talking English or whether you are talking Hindi, whatever the language you use, Preferably, I will say that use English, preferably. But if the interview is going in Hindi and if the board is also able to accommodate, you may talk in Hindi. However, I will say that preferable it is English. And what Mr. Tapan Banerjee was mentioning, I will say that it is a very good method. Go and talk in front of the mirror. Talk to yourself. Don't talk to anybody else. Talk to yourself. Right? The next part is that, let me also say that, try to put the answers in a very straightforward manner. Whenever you are asked, your interviewer is asking the question, listen to him carefully. Listening is a good habit. Let me also say so. And I will tell you that why listening is a good habit. Don't listen to react. Listen to respond. Take a pause. 5 seconds, 10 seconds pause is not a bad way to handle. You are not joining a group or orchestra type. So take a pause. Take a pause for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Assimilate your thoughts. Think about it, that what he has asked. Don't be reactive. Try to respond instead of react. Right? Now, with all this, I can only say that and one interview is not the end of the world. Suppose by any chance you have not been selected or your interview was not that good. Maybe your day is not that. It is not the end of life, right? So one interview is not the end of the life. Just wait for some time, go, just come home, think about it, that what exactly has not gone well, mull over it, prepare the response, get a feedback, consult some seniors, consult your friends that, oh my God, I have goofed up on this question, right? So work on those, I will say. Now the next part is that embarrass everybody. Learn from those, learn from, even you can learn from your supervisors, learn from your subordinates, learn from your younger colleague, learn from your child. See, like I keep on learning many things from my kids, because they are far more knowledgeable in today's world than what I used to be in my time. So there's nothing wrong in learning. You can have a reverse mentor also. Reverse mentor is that the person who may be junior to you, who can speak to you, who can give you the feedback कि boss आपका ये चीज ठीक नहीं है. There's nothing wrong. See, end of the day, it is for you, right? So these are the few things, and the last point from my side is that don't run after success. Run after your passion. I will say that if you are running after your passion, success jhak maar ke aayega. It looks very derogatory. It may look very straightforward, but let me say that if your approach is very clear, if your thoughts are very clear, if you are working on your approach, and whatever we have talked, some 15, 16 points, if your attitude is positive, if you have done your work very good, success will be yours. And let me with all that, let me say that I will share that the points which I have noted, and generally I keep on looking at the candidates whenever I go for the campus selection. So this is how I see. It is not that every answer the candidate will know. It is not. He is not supposed to know. He is not a faculty. He is not a. See, when I will tell you that today the MBA graduate, his faculties are maybe far more better. But can a faculty go and get a job of an MBA? No, he cannot. because his skill set, his knowledge, his experience remains with a particular subject, right? But what you come up with, because you have got the input from say like 15, 16 or 40 faculties. So it is a synergy effect, and the synergy effect, the impact will be far more than the individual faculties. So you will see that the best of the faculties who teach you and who may not have been able to get to that extent the best of the salaries and all, but they make you, they nurture you. So my job here is to tell you that what we look at, and it is more of what I take it a point what Mr. Manasda had talked to me, that it is my job is to tell you or to nurture your skills, to nurture your thought process, so that whenever you approach the interview board, you are better prepared. Thank you very much. I am open for any question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prakash. In fact, the elaboration that you gave relating to how to approach the interview process is something which is absolutely fantastic, and I think the students will be greatly benefited. One thing which you mentioned is you are your only competitor. That is a very, I think it's a very bold statement, and that is, I think it's a perfect statement, that please don't think how many people are there, what is the position, it's you, and you are your only competitor. You need to fight within yourself to get selected. In fact, sir, being in HR, I also had the privilege of recruiting people across the country, especially from IIMs also. And I know the same thing which I reciprocate to the faculty over there is that, or the students over there, that it is not possible to come up with 20 minutes of what you have learned in 2 years. So it's not that what you're actually mentioning, it's not that you need to know everything right, but your attitude should be honest. There should be an honest attitude. Your response should be honest. So thank you so much. Thanks to all the three panelists for enlightening us. I'm sorry we could have taken questions, but we are already running short of time and we have overstepped our time. I would like to thank the BIMS for arranging this wonderful session and being a part of this wonderful process. And I believe, and I strongly believe, that the students have learned a lot. I also believe that any questions offline can always be addressed by the three panelists. So before we end, I would like to hand over to Dr. Mandira De. Dr. De is there for the vote of thanks before we conclude today's session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving a platform to convey my vote of thanks to all the dignitaries present over here. Really, it was a very enriching sessions, and I hope that whatever the inputs our dignitaries or our speakers has given to our students, it will be really helpful for them to fetch a good career in their corporate life. So with this note, we are coming to the end of the session. Hope, sir, when the things will be on the line, and we will have an opportunity to have a offline interaction. I think that will be very, very interesting and very, very interactive one. With this note, I am concluding my vote of thanks. We are ending our session with our national anthem. Thank you, sir.
আমি যাচ্ছি মা, 2 মিনিট দাঁড়াও না। ঘরে যাচ্ছি।
Thank you, sir. So we're ending our session here. We'll have again meet very soon with this hope And with this expectations, we are ending today's session. Thank you all. Thank you all the participants present over here for your patient listening to our session. And depending on the feedback link, which has been circulated in the chat box, you will be getting your e-certificate. Thanks a lot to everyone for the participants, the dignitaries, and to all the BIMS faculty members, and not the most person who has helped a lot at the technical backup. He is Topun sir. We are really grateful to him for helping us in making this program a successful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.